What up, guys? It's Legend Game Kenan Kaiser here, and we're back with another review of Dragon Ball Z Super episode 123. And we left off. Vegeta's down, and Jiren was getting the whole warrior sleep, and by the Cloud Universe God instruction, it's a sign of respect and all that. But then we gotta go fast to Goku's versus Jiren. And Goku seems to have this plan of dropping mines every time he instant transmission. He goes in, gets a few punches, and then drops a mine. It's really weird. It's a new strategy I've not seen in Goku for a while. It's really really small, but they can pack a serious punch, an explosion, like mines. You never really see that anyway. This is like the first different thing I've ever seen in Dragon Ball, other than like Kamehameha, instant transmission, or like regular Kiba. It's just like mines. So this is the first time we see something very interesting. So I thought well, first I was like, Jiren knows what it's up. Like, really, like, Jiren should know what he's playing, but no. For once, Jiren did not know what was coming. And as soon as he stepped on it, it exploded. But, yeah, but Vegeta warned Goku that Jiren was in the air the entire time, and then he started to jump up, and then Goku used a Krillen technique, the destructive disc that separates to 1 to 3, then 6, and came right at him, and Jiren destroyed all these destructive discs with each of their hands, and then he grabbed one and threw it back, and cutting off a pillar as it fell down almost to the edge of the ring. Not quite, but almost. And I just think I know what the strategy they're trying to do. I know very well what they're trying to do. So then they start battling on this pillar. Jiren eventually gets a punch and it starts doing a slow motion and stuff. But I already know what's probably up, and then use a Hexa Blade, which is a 6 Hex is like 6, yeah. 6 like the strength of this that cuts up the bottom ring, causing Jiren to fall back. Jiren looks surprised as hell that he's falling back, and it was a page out of Krillen's book, the same they used back in during the whole Krillen episode, like 93 I think, where he creates like a hole in the ground for Goku to fall in. And at least Krillen's in there somewhere, and Jiren starts to like fall back, but as soon as he tries to blast Goku instant transmission over his head and does a meteor smash takedown on Jiren, sending him to the bottom. And it did. Wait, one thing that really got me was the whole the Zen was like trying to copy Jiren and say Jiren's cool. Yeah. But we like that. But we all know like Jiren came back on something weird like balancing tiny ass rocks and be able to like jump straight back out back to the ring, and he was pissed. You could see the aura glowing, their own god of destruction saying, we haven't seen Jiren this fired up in a very long time. So Jiren is getting like, you know what? I'm not taking your shit anymore. Let's go, man. Full power. That's when that's when Goku starts to get up. I don't know Goku. Vegeta gets up soon, but Jiren does this really like power punch. And it's like, that was just a simple punch, and then Goku just automatically loses his blue form. Okay. But let's turn our attention to another part. Frieza versus Dispo. And Dispo is basically slamming Frieza all over the ring, and eventually slams him down, and he's like, this is the true power of Fire Troopers. And then we see something we haven't seen in a very long time since the Namek Saga. The telekinesis, as he lifts up the rocks and like, do you really think that was enough to defeat me? And I'm like, I agree with Frieza. Slamming him into a bunch of rocks is nowhere enough to beat Frieza. You have to do a lot more. Even a Spirit Bomb didn't stop Frieza back in Namek. But him slamming a bunch of rocks was gonna do shit? Come on. So he fires a multi-death beam and he just dodges out of the way. Typical speedrunner. Now let's check over and pan overview to 17 and Gohan versus Topo. And Gohan tries to coordinate his attack with 17, but that didn't work. And 17 pointed out saying, don't try to coordinate attack with me. We just met, we're new guy, we don't have anything planned. So 17 has this idea to like sacrifice himself by capturing Topo in a bubble in his energy barrier and having Goku Kamehameha blast him off. And it was a really good plan. It could have worked, but Topo was basically like snapping, like having his arm back, like breaking it. Eventually caused him to drop his barrier and go on to like loosen his power a bit, giving Topo a chance to dodge his attack. So 17, and Topo was a bit like surprised, a bit angry at times. Now we turn our attentions to Go Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren. Vegeta finally gets up, and they start powering up to this full power. Goku all man goes for his Kaioken times 20, blue, but then we see something special for Vegeta. He starts powering up to this new form. It's like sparkling blue, and I keep hearing that annoying ass thing that they brought up again. His limit breaking. This is Vegeta's limit breaking, and I honestly think that they already broke the limits as they do with Super Saiyan and all that other stuff. Like the whole limit breaker term is really annoying to me, cause definition is you break a limit. You break a limit all the time, every time you train. So why is this a certain limit here for him? Anyway, it looks so shiny and sparkly and like fairy dust. Reminds me of that Winx episode where they like have those. It's like a fairy episode and that like ridiculously high sparkling thing. Yeah, I just call Vegeta a fairy. Come at me, bro. So they all go straight out to attack Goku, Jiren, and we point out that they're not really coordinating well. It just surprises Jiren, and Jiren has power keeping up with him. And they're actually having Jiren's actually having trouble. Like, this isn't an easy fight for them. It's 2-on-1, and they're very strong, and they're not giving Jiren a time. So yeah, that's pretty much where the episode starts ending right there. Goku did some trick stuff that we don't see him do, like strategizing, which is a very good change of pace, and it doesn't have Krillin incorporated into it. I mean, if Krillin was still around, that would have worked. But yeah, so that's a way to put Krillin still be useful in this episode as Goku's using Krillen's technique. And the next episode looks like it's going to be all around Gohan, Frieza, and Dispo. We see Frieza in his golden form. Gohan has his last stand. Who knows that could be fine? Could Gohan be eliminated? It's the last stand, and usually that title. I usually don't trust titles ever since, but sometimes titles can have spoilers. So maybe this is Gohan's last ability. I don't know, man. And it looks like Dispo's trying something new. So it could be a new technique for Dispo. We get to see for once. Overall, I really like this episode. We got to see some strategy from Goku that we haven't seen in like forever. I don't know. Usually strategies around Krillin and Rastaroshi's territory. But it's all is really good. And I'm really curious what more Goku and Vegeta's new technique will do. And anyway, that's the episode. Make sure you're staying around for some new episodes. I'm doing a new one, and I say, what I hope, man, is like, I don't know, man. The whole like, I try to avoid spoilers though. I almost have to think that Goku actually got eliminated because the title. I read the title really fast and only the picture. Yeah, I try to avoid spoilers as much as I can. That's why I post this episode a bit later. So that means I don't have to like. So I don't have to like what's it called? Get all like reviews when I try to post it because it will appear every time I do it. It's so annoying. So anyway, if you like my stuff, my review, gameplay, and whatnot, be sure to like and subscribe. I do videos weekly, like we have like 2 videos, 3 videos a week. Who knows? Anyway, this has been Kenan von Kaiser, Legendary Gamer, and remember, I'm not OP. I'm just that good. See you on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z Super, episode 124. Catch you later.